Okay, when you buy some leather dye, if you buy in one of these sizes like this, first thing you do is open it up, take this this wool dauber that's included and get rid of that thing. It's the worst thing that you can do for dyeing your leather because you're going to end up with streaks all over in that. Professional dye guys will take a big tub and dip the whole hide in and dye that. Full-time guys that make sheaths for a living, same thing. They'll dye a whole hide at a time. They'll dip it in, they get a nice even coat. But custom guys, one-off guys like us, you got to dye it a little bit at a time. So now you got a couple of things on there going against you. First off, we're not as good as leather as we are at making knives. That's just the way it is. Leather, you want vegetable tan only. Vegetable tan only, not chrome tan. Make sure your leather supplier only sells you vegetable tan. Chrome tan will put black spots on your knife. So here we've got a bottle of glue. We got a little resist glue. We got a little glue stuck on that from another video. So we'll show you that. Basically, the best way, if you just throw some dye on, you're going to end up with a blotchy, uneven coat. Okay, we just got this scrap. It's not going to dye very well. And so we're just throwing some on. And you're going to end up with an uneven coat, blotchy, that kind of stuff. Now when I dye a hide or I'm doing some sheaths, I'll take a big square, that big, 12 by 12, 12 by 24, that kind of thing, and I'll dye that whole thing and I'll use that for the next several sheaths. But sometimes you're only doing one-offs. You're going to end up with that blotchy look, and it's only going to be worse with the wool daubers. Okay, so one solution to that will help. Now this says Windex, but it's just a bottle of water. Take and spritz that with water. Okay, so it's nice and covered. Let that water go in a little bit, and what you're going to have when you come back to dye again, and we got a little dry spot on the corner, and you'll see the difference. You're going to end up with a lot more even coat, smoother coat on your dye job, and you'll get less streaks and less issues that way. You get a nice cleaner coat. Now you're not going to get a homogenized coat of dye on your leather. Don't go for that because it's leather. It's not paint. It's not like paint in your car. You're not going to get an even coat. Leather's going to have a little grain, little texture, that kind of thing. But when you dye it, you can certainly do a better job. This was not spritzed. This was. Now there's one other thing to look at when you're doing this kind of stuff, and we'll just grab this piece. There's something called deglazer. Now this stuff smells like death. You're going to hate the smell. But what it does is lots of times when leather comes out of the tannery, and you can't really tell it from the surface, it's got oils on it, it's got resist on it, who knows what the cover is on it. And you want to take that off a little bit if you're struggling with a piece of dye on some leather and that kind of stuff. It's just the way it is. Take that deglaze, rub that on there, and that will take off some of the chemicals or whatever is on the surface of that leather and make it more receptive to a cleaner, more even coat on your leather dye. Now you can also come back, spritz that with a little water, and you're going to get a more, and then put your dye on. You're going to get a lot more even coat, a lot smoother coat, and that's all there is to it. Now when I'm dyeing, I just grab some paper towels or a sponge, big paper towel. Don't get stingy on this because it'll show up in your leather, but you get a nice smoother coat. Deglazer, stinks. Plenty of ventilation. Leather dye. Thanks.